I do want to take you live right now to Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman holding a press conference talking about their plans to hold people accountable that are taking advantage of the situation.
200,000 Angelenos cooperating with evacuation orders in order to make sure that they get out of harm's way, but allow firefighters and first responders and law enforcement to do their business. There have been certain people that we have given a warning to because we anticipated that this was going to happen. And these are the criminals. These are the people who are seeking to exploit this tragedy for their own benefit. These are people who have engaged in looting, arson. We've also investigated price gouging. We'll be investigating internet scams and the like. Today, we're here to announce that the promise that we made when we started this, that these criminals would be arrested, they would be prosecuted, and they will be maximally punished, is a promise we are keeping. As we announced today, the charges being filed on 10 different individuals, 9 of them for looting in both the Palisades and the Eden fires, and 1 for arson. And arson, by the way, not connected with the origination of the major fires, but an arson that occurred in Azusa. These felony charges are the result of a multi-agency collaboration that has been nothing short of incredibly impressive to be able to bring these charges this quickly. This collaboration includes the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, the Los Angeles Police Department, the Los Angeles County Fire Arson Unit, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the ATF, the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office, and all our related cities that you'll hear about that have done incredible work under enormously stressful times in order to bring these culprits to justice. I'll go through the various charges that have been filed to date. The first set of charges are against 3 individuals, Martrell Peoples, Damari Bell, and Travin Coleman. What 2 of these individuals did is on the night of both January 8th and the early morning hours of January 9th, they went ahead and committed first-degree residential burglary and looting during an emergency and evacuation situation in a house in Mandeville Canyon. They have been charged with first-degree residential burglary. They've been charged with looting. They've been charged with grand theft. They stole over $200,000, as been alleged by the charging documents. And by the way, with respect to the charges I'm going to announce, please know this. The charges themselves are not evidence. Every one that I'm going to describe today is presumed guilty until and unless they are proven their guilt is proven by the government beyond a reasonable doubt.
Presumed innocent.
I'm sorry?
Presumed innocent.
Excuse me. Presumed innocent. Thank you for the change. Presumed innocent until and unless their guilt is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. So back with Mr. Peoples and Mr. Bell. They went ahead and committed these crimes, and when they committed these crimes, as you're going to see on this TV screen right here to my left, it was caught on a Ring camera. If you can play that as we're speaking. And the LAPD, through, again, such impressive investigation, worked with various leads and tracked Mr. Peoples and Mr. Bell to an apartment in Koreatown. Surveillance was then conducted. When they attempted to leave, they were then apprehended, and a number of these stolen items from that residence was found with Mr. Peoples and Mr. Bell. Mr. Peoples is is committed 2 prior violent or serious felonies. This is his 3rd. As a potential 3-strike person, he is looking at life in prison. And Mr. Bell, as a 2nd strike individual, will be looking at 22 years and 8 months in prison if convicted. Mr. Coleman accompanied Mr. Bell and Mr. Peoples out of that apartment building in Koreatown, went into a second car. And when Mr. Peoples and Mr. Bell were stopped, that second car, driven by Mr. Coleman, kept going. It went through a light. It crashed into another vehicle. That innocent person in the other vehicle suffered a concussion. So Mr. Coleman has been charged with 1-count felony hit and run causing great bodily injury. As also a potential third strike case, he is looking at a maximum sentence of life in prison. The second case that we'll talk about involves Rudy Salazar and Lucia Hilrara Perez. They have been charged with 2 counts of each of first-degree residential burglary in connection with an Altadena looting incident. On the night of, again, January 8th, they went ahead and entered 2 different houses in the Altadena area, stealing property in each of the houses, and they were apprehended by the police. And they are looking at 6 years maximum on each one of the residential burglary counts. The third set of charges is against Roy Sims, Ryan Sims, Naquan Dewey Reddix, and Pierre O'Bannon. They are each charged with 1 count of first-degree residential burglary in connection with their crimes, where they went into a house in Altadena in the early morning hours and stole a variety of different personal property from the owners of that house. If we can show some of that property and the burglary tools that were seized.
No.
We do not have that. Among the property that you'll see that was stolen in that particular incident was actually the Emmy Award of the resident who lived there. That was, the police worked incredibly quickly in that situation, stopped these individuals, and were able to apprehend them and recover most of the stolen property. The fourth incident is an arson incident in which Jose Gerardo Escobar has been charged. Do we have that ready? This is an incident that occurred in Azusa, where Mr. Escobar has been charged with 3 different arson charges. He is looking at 9 years in state prison. This is arson that occurred at Pioneer Park in the city of Azusa. It was investigated by the Azusa Police Department, who acted very effectively and very efficiently in apprehending Mr. Escobar. Mr. Escobar, as well, has been not only has been charged, but he is set for arraignment today. So again, with respect to all these charges, as I said before, these charges are not evidence, and they are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But this shows the effectiveness of law enforcement. So when I said, and I have been saying over the past couple days, the question is not if, but when you will be caught if you engage in these crimes. The 10 charges, or 10 different individuals that have been charged today, are evidence of that fact. And the warning shot remains. Do not go ahead and engage in looting, engage in internet scams, engage in price gouging. Do not violate evacuation orders. And do not commit any of these crimes in which people are trying to profit from the tragedy of the people who have suffered from these various fires.